Howdy everybody, this is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com. These are going to be some Blood Moon rallies. No solos in this one, but I'm going to do another one tomorrow. Got a lot of content recorded. There are a ton of traps and just large players and everybody else that are doing incredibly well at defending right now. But what I'm going to show you in this video is that you can still crack a lot of them and you can still get some really big hits. So what we're seeing right now is that defense has gotten to the point that if you set up really well, you know what you're doing, you got your pre-meat set correctly, as I'll show in just a minute, then you're doing generally really good at defense. Obviously, it depends a lot on who's hitting you, but for right now, defense is really strong. But as I'm going to show in this one, most people can still be cracked. This one we're hitting Lego Batman right here. So we got a full rally. We know that he's Siege. That's why you see that we're sending Siege. But we're not quite sure what his entire setup is entirely. So you see we get capped. That's going to be a recurring theme of this video, is that Lego Batman caps me. So you can expect that. There's cap number one. You see we killed 5.7 million troops. We know that we didn't get through his HP. And so now I'm just going to move on to the next. This one is another really strong trap. You saw right there, he's got pre-meat on bottom, and the pre-meat is archers and cav with a little bit of infantry on the bottom there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my solo set right here. That's what I'm doing. That's why I've got it sped up, is because I've got my good gear on my other heroes that I'm, not my good gear, but, different gear. I'm hitting him with archers because I know that he's an infantry trap. And so now I'm going to solo cav in front of that. And that is to try to clear out the pre-meat. And this is the one that I'm going to show you. It's incredibly important to have a really good pre-meat setup and make sure that it's really hard for people to get through all of your pre-meat. So we're waiting on the rally to fill. I've got my cav solo gear ready to go before that. See my three heroes that are rallied, and now I'm going through and I'm making sure that my solo hero is somewhat decent. I don't do a great job. You saw that Flaming Knight doesn't have runes, and Lonnie doesn't have that. So I need to work on my hero presets a little bit to make sure that I can do this a little bit faster and don't have to go switch gear up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to solo cav in front of my rally to try to clear that pre-meat out. We saw that he had about 4 million archers standing in front of that. So if we send that archer rally and hit those pre-meat, obviously it's not going to go well for us. He's going to cap us. So now I send my solo, I send my archer rally behind it. So that's a cav solo hitting first, archer rally hitting second, and everybody gets capped. Caps the solo, caps the archer rally. So I'm going to get both my heroes back, and I'm going to go try to glean as much information as I can from these cap reports and see what went wrong here, really. And so I go check that. A couple of huge defeats. See, that's my solo. I only killed 1.9 million troops. I saw that he had more pre-meat than that 1.9 million. So that tells me my solo did not do enough damage. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to fix the gear a little bit. I'm going to actually put runes on the Flaming Knight. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to put some bunny rabbits on Bella to try to take out that tier 3. Because if they got tier 3, bunny rabbits obviously hit really hard. He had some tier 3 meat, I believe. That's why I'm doing this right now. I'm going through, putting my Lev Cav runes on Flaming Knight, and I'm just trying to get my solo to where it will hit a little harder. Also, we're going to have a couple other solos that are hitting at the same time as well to try to clear out all of that pre-meat. So that's what I'll show you in just a second. So I'm just focusing on fixing my gear. That's that. If you got a bunch of people online in your alliance that are filling rallies, have people hit these solos on these really strong trap accounts. Like, this guy's a really strong trap. He's got really good gear. We'll figure that out in a second. That's what I'm going to show you in just a second. So I'm hitting with Ferocious Mage. Obviously, that is not ideal to take out pre-meat. When you're looking at taking out pre-meat, think of it almost like you're hitting a Victorious Sanctuary. Like, you want to hit very similar gear to Victorious Sanctuary. You want bunnies, you want stuff like that if they've got T3 pre-meat, which is what I'll show you in a second. So you see House here is going to solo at the same time as me. We're both going to solo. I'm going to send a dragon as well, and then I'm going to send my rally. So we got 2 solos that hit him, and then my rally hits next. See, I burn him with the solo. Rally still gets capped. So let's go get the hero back, and then we'll go and look at the actual report that burned him and see what's going on here and why he's still capping these rallies. So this is the solo report, and you see I killed 3.9 mil. See, he's got a ton of infantry stats. That's why I scrolled back up to it. His infantry stats are incredibly high. You see this? I didn't get through all of his pre-meat. He's still got a little bit of archers left, and then he's got some other T4 stuff in front of that as well, and then his actual meat shield is T5. So I killed most of his T3, but I left some of his T4 pre-meat there. We didn't even get to touch his T5. That's why he capped our rally again. So the solos weren't hitting hard enough. And I'm going to do another video on Blood Moon hits tomorrow. And then after that, I'm going to go through, and based on what we saw from this Blood Moon, all of these badass traps that are capping us over and over and over again, I'm going to make a new defense setup video where I go through it. We discuss exactly what's working right now, what's not working. I know there's a big update coming out, so that'll probably all change, but it is what it is. Here is the infamous Killer King. We're going to rally Killer King. We've got a report on him. This is the next target, which I'm already checking that because I know that Killer King is... After we hit Killer King, we can go to this guy. So, sorry, didn't cut that out, but we see that guy doesn't have any pre-meat, so we're going to go hit him next. For now, Killer King, I've got an Archer rally set on him. We know that he's an infantry trap, and we know that he's got pre-meat in front of it. Here's the catch. His meat is T4, so he's got T4 infantry troops. That means all of his pre-meat is T3. That means I can blow him up with bunny rabbits. So I send my solo, and it's a cav solo again, and then I send my Archer rally after that. See, the cav solo lands, the Archer rally lands, and we go and look at the reports in just a second. And we'll see, both my heroes are walking back, so we know how that resulted. See, we killed 72 mil, got his defense zeroed, which is a big deal, didn't get his HP zeroed. So we can adjust it a little bit, but you see how he had no pre-meat left over? That's because his pre-meat was T3. Here is another time that Lego Batman caps me. Rather than just showing him capping me over and over and over again, I decided to spread them out throughout the video so that it would be a little bit more exciting. You get to see me burn somebody and then get capped by Lego Batman again. So well played to him. You see he's eating our siege like chiclets. But what I'm getting at with Killer King and with the other trap guy, just myself, the pre-meat is a huge deal. Obviously your stats matter a whole lot. If you don't have good stats, you're going to get blown up either way. It's not really going to matter what your pre-meat is if you've got great stats. Killer King had great stats. He has a decent sized meat shield as well, but because his pre-meat was all T3, I could hit him with that Ferocious Maj with a whole bunch of bunny rabbits for the T3 damage and take out all that pre-meat. That's why our rally hit him so hard. Now, this guy, I send the rally, and we know that he didn't have any pre-meat, but just in case he decided to build some pre-meat, I go ahead and send the solo as well. Also, it's like 2 a.m. when these rallies are occurring, if you know what that means. So, you see my solo got capped, but the rally landed. So we're going to go check those reports and check that out. See, we hit him decently hard. We didn't get his defense all the way zeroed. He's still about 2k HP. But you see that we hit him pretty hard because, again, he didn't have much pre-meat. The only pre-meat he had was T4 infantry in front of his T5 infantry. So for pre-meat, you want to make sure that you are layering very, very well. If your bottom tier of troops is T4, then your pre-meat has to be T3. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage. I know it's incredibly expensive to upgrade your meat shield to T5, but at this point of the game, here's Lego Batman capping me again. Surprise, surprise, he capped me again. Good job. Ate all of the sieges. So, I'll get into this more with tomorrow's video and then with the defense setup video as well, but what we learned in Blood Moon is that number 1, single type traps are really strong, as are siege traps apparently. But number 2, pre-meat matters a whole lot. So, like, subscribe, do all that other stuff. See you tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching.